Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to the final boss of the JP Dark Visions. As you can see right here, it is only vulnerable to ice, wind, or earth element. So therefore I can't really use my fire party that I usually use. So we're going to go with an ice team. It's a bird, by the way. So we're going to be using Jill as our leader. She's a good ice leader. She's also going to be the ice amplify field, the AoE 100 ice imbue. Also, she does AoE 160 bird killer, so she's really good for this fight. Yuffie is going to be our good weapon in peril, our ice in peril field. She's also an ice unit to deal just really good damage as well. We're going to be using Tybus and Yish basically as an ice damage dealer. That's it. We're not using their field. Yuffie's field is better. They're just a damage dealer. Cloud is going to be here as basically just a breaker. Unfortunately, he does not get our leader skill. He's also not going to get his overdrive because we're not using enough rebellion units on the party. So Cloud gonna do really bad damage here, but he is still an 89 breaker, and he is gonna deal some damage because, I mean, he's Cloud. So yeah, he's gonna be our breaker. Now we're taking Jekt because, in my experience, I need a physical tank on this fight. I was taking way too much damage trying to not use a physical tank. So we're going to be just taking Jekt. He's going to be basically a physical tank, also an Omni cover tank on one of the turns, and he's going to support chain. That's it. But the real star of the show is going to be Awakened Dragon Axstar. Yes, that is the Axstar from years and years ago who has been terrible since day one. He got updated in JP. He is now one of the strongest units in the game. Not even kidding. He's going to outdamage everyone on the party by a dramatic amount. It is literally going to be the Axstar show. And that is hilarious considering he's a completely free unit. And they even gave him and a bunch of his shards for free the other day. Anyway, let's get in here and give it a go. Now, real quick, I will say this is not going to be that great of a clear. Because, for one thing, they expect you to have the new Onion Knight as your physical tank. Onion Knight is a physical tank in the shift form and Omni cover tank, and a really good damage dealer in the base form. He's also an ice unit. My Onion Knight is only EX0, therefore he cannot Brave Shift, therefore he cannot tank. So he's not coming, we're taking Jekt. And then you're supposed to have Terra as your ice amplify and your breaker. Terra would be a 90 break and an AoE 150 ice amplify. So if we had Terra and EX1 Onion Knight, this party would do so much better. But don't have Terra, so we're using Cloud off element. Don't have Onion Knight EX1, so we're using Jekt to be a dead slot, but he's going to cover for us. Anyway, let's give it a go. So we're going to kill on turn 4. Now, going beyond turn 4, again, I was just taking too much damage. So we're going to kill on turn 4. It's going to hurt our damage a little bit because our Jill is only EX1. She won't even get her SLB. You know, what are you going to do? I got to deal with it. Okay, so on turn 1, we're going to just guard Tybus and Yish. Axstar will just do Calamity Border for the resist buff. Jekt will do physical cover. We're going to do a good magic break on the boss, and we're going to do Bar Lightninja for the mitigation buff. Cloud on this turn can do Ice Resist, a better Ice Resist buff from Carbuncle. Jill can do In Blazega on the party. She's going to fill her LB because EX1. And then she's going to do a Break and Ice in Peril. And then Yuffie is going to do just her skill unlock to start getting her modifier buffs. We're not going to use Yuffie's LB. We're going to use her powered up chaining to get her good ice damage. Her LB is Earth Element. So some physical damage, some AoE ice magic, some AoE poison. Now our Jekt is wearing Lakshmi synergy so that he counterattacks AoE status cure. So that'll cure our poison for us. Thank you, Jekt. Okay, this turn we're going to use Axstar. We're going to use one of his modifier buffs. This is an EX bonus ability, so you may not have it if you have not gotten lucky on your EX fragments. Thankfully, because I have pulled so many Axstars over the years, I literally have every single EX bonus unlocked on Axstar with fragments to spare. Yes, I had more than 700 spare Axstar fragments to completely max him out. Anyway, now the boss imperiled our ailment immunity, as you can see here. And this turn he's going to paralyze single targets. So Jekt is going to use paralyzed immunity from Lakshmi so that he does not get paralyzed. Cloud will use his field. Now the only reason we're doing this is for the 300% stat buff. The fields are useless and we're going to replace them in a moment, but we want that 300 stat buff. This turn Tyvis and Yish can guard, and Jill is going to go ahead and do her AoE 100 AoE 100% Ice Amplify. We're going to do her AoE 160 Bird Killer, and we're going to do the AoE LB damage buff. And then Yuffie can continue to do her unlocks with this skill right here. We're going to just steal because whatever. And then we're going to do a smaller resist buff for some of the other elements because the boss does other elements on this turn. Should be overall minor damage, though. We've got Jekt's mitigations and all that, and he's covering all the physical damage. Comes some more attack. Yeah, all that damage. The boss has accuracy, by the way. Now, Jekt is blinded, but once again, he should counter-cure it with Lakshmi synergy before his turn is over. There it is. Blind has been cured. Perfect. Okay, we're going to set up and get ready for killing next turn. So, Tyvis Yish will go ahead and do their big Ice Amplify, then Modifier Fire buff, and then replace it with Modifier Ice buff. Axstar will now do his special armor upgrade skill. His LB buff, again, this is only from EX bonus unlocking. If you haven't gotten lucky with your unlocks, you know, unfortunate. And then we're going to do his Magnus, which is yet another modifier buff, and all of these stack up for him. Jekt on this turn, the boss, we all have a 150 in peril to everything. So Jekt is going to Omni cover to take care of all the magic and the physical damage. We're also going to do a bigger attack break, and then we're going to do a Protectka just for himself. Cloud will go ahead and do his LB buff, his modifier buff, and the 89 breaks. Jill will do her modifier buff, her LB buff, and then we will do the Ice Amplify field. Yuffie will do an Omni Killer on Axstar. It's slightly higher than Jill's buff. A Ice Imperil field, and the Omni Weapon Imperil at 50%. It's not quite Omni. It's actually missing a few weapons, as I noticed. It's not a Sword Imperil, so Jill has kind of a weak Weapon Imperil this turn, but what are you going to do? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and kill. So this one's a little bit tricky with the timing, because the chaining isn't quite perfect. So we're going to use the tag chaining of Tyvis Yish. Cloud will do his LB, which is a 5-hit, kind of delayed. Axstar will go to the base form and do his base form LB, which is Bolting Strike, but it's only a single cast Bolting Strike. So it's 9 hits, not 27. It's a little bit awkward. Jekt will just go ahead and triple Bolting Strike to weave into that chain for more damage. Jill will do her LB, not SLB, only EX1. Gonna take a damage nerf. Oh well. And then Yuffie, we're gonna go ahead and do her powered up Ice Chain. It has now been maximized to basically the same modifier as using her LB. She's really good to all 4 of her elements. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video here because the chaining is a little awkward. I might break the chain. Also, I want to get a respectable roll for the video. So I'll explain the way we're going to do it, and then I'm going to start like trying to do it by hand. It's a little bit awkward. So we're going to send Cloud first. We're going to wait just a moment. Then we're going to chain together Jill and Yuffie. They're both absolute mirror of equity. We're going to wait like a split moment. Then we're going to send Jekt. Then we're going to send Axstar. Then we're going to send Tyvis Yish. And if we've done it flawlessly, we'll get exactly a 100 count chain on the exact amount. We're probably going to miss a few hits on Jekt because he's triple bolting and no one else is actually doing that. If I get like a 96 chain, oh well. But as long as the big hitters all get into the chain, we're good. So let me go ahead and pause the video because I'm probably going to mess it up once or twice, and see you in a moment. Alright guys, here we go. This, and hopefully I chained it properly. Looks like I did. That last hit on Tyvis Yish was a little bit low, but let's see how the rest of the party did. And damage breakdown 15.5, not bad. They seriously buffed the bosses, by the way, the defense and spirit, because people were getting too close to the damage cap. So now they're like dramatically bulkier. I did better. Okay. So here is our damage breakdown. So we've got Typhus Yish. Like I said, they actually got kind of a low roll that attempt. I saw their last hit was only 1.7. They usually do a lot better on that last hit. But yeah, there it is. But Axstar, what did I tell you? Axstar is ruling the game right now. This freely buffed unit is just doing astronomically ridiculous amounts of damage compared to everyone else in the game. So there's our Axstar, you know, our 4-year-old Axstar doing 7 billion damage compared to like Cloud, Jill, Yuffie, Typhus Yish doing, you know, less than a third of his damage. It's ridiculous how good this unit is these days. And then there's our Cloud. Now, our Cloud did not have a leader skill and did not get his overdrive. So don't judge him too harshly. But 1.8 on Cloud. Our EX1 Jill, and we didn't go to turn 5, so therefore no SLB. But we did 1.8. And then Yuffie EX2 did 2.5. Not bad. But yeah. And then there's Axstar doing 7. So, oh, got a better score. So there we go. I am top 1,300. And again, if you're looking to get top 1,000, top 100, you got to have Terra. You got to have Onion Knight because you need someone to physical cover. That's Onion Knight's job. And then he does big boy damage on the kill turn. And then you need someone to be a proper breaker on Element. And that would be Terra with her 90 breaks and her AoE 150 amplify. Like, imagine Axstar with a 150 amplify instead of only 100 from Jill. His damage would go up, I'm bad at math, 33%? I don't know. It'd be higher. Anyway, let me show you the gear. So I don't have the Overkiller learned for, I think it's Siren for Bird, because I'm very cheap on Galvanite on the JP server. So no one has Overkiller. But we do need Lakshmi on Jekt for the buffing of paralyzed immunity. Otherwise, you will get paralyzed. We got Carbuncle on Cloud for the 80% ice resist. Bird Killer with Bahamut on Typhus Yish. And then the big Bird Killer on Axstar. So here's the gear. Typhus Yish, just using Titus's STMR. They're a normal gear. They've got maxed Bird Killer, maxed LB, etc. Using a fire card, and then there we go. I don't have any flat stat materia for like any of my units because I'm cheap, but there we go. There it is. There's his gear. Axstar in the shift form is just using whatever. Now it is important that he's wearing his upgraded armor, and then other than that, just bulk Calamity Border. In the base form, he is 2300 attack power. He's got maxed Bird Killer, maxed LB damage. There it is. Chain Cap from the Garuda Ring. People keep asking me, where are you getting your Chain Cap from? It's the Garuda Ring. That's from level 4 Sealed Tower. Other than that, LB damage, stat up, etc. And we gave him Deity Typhus's card because I don't have the Ice card. So, big sad face. Jekt is just full evasion, a little bit of resistances, immune to confusion. Plus the buff makes him fully immune. Passive provoke, full evade, Lakshmi synergy so that we counterattack the cure on the paralyzed, for the blind and the poison. And then just a bulk card. Cloud is right here, maxed on Bird Killer, LB damage. There it is. There's his gear. There's his setup. We gave him, whose card is that? Ramza's card? I think so. And then Jill is maxed on Bird Killer. Unfortunately, only using a sword. I tried to give her the fist, the double-handed fist, but with the killers, I couldn't fit it because, again, only EX1. Big sad face. Anyway, yeah, I'm forced to use her stupid TMR because of EX1. But there it is. She's still maxed on Bird Killer, maxed on everything, and there we go, using the Royals card. And then Yuffie, maxed on Bird Killer. I maxed her LB damage. I don't think I really needed it on her. Whoops, but whatever. And then an Earth card. She's a Earth Earth, Ice, and Wind unit. Anyway, there's my clear. About the best I can do with the units I have available. Man, if I had Onion and Terra, imagine, I'd be like rank 1. Maybe not that high, but it'd be a lot better. Anyway, see you in a bit.